Cells, the Building Blocks of Life by Caleb Usack. The cell theory states that all living things are made of cells, which are the basic units of life, and that cells come from other cells. A single cell can range vastly in size, but more often than not, a cell will be microscopic. This is due to the efficiency of a smaller cell. Each cell has a cell membrane that provides a boundary. This boundary must be crossed when nutrients want to come in and waste wants to go out. The bigger the cell, the more often this must happen as well. Therefore, the smaller cells are more efficient and need less energy to function. When thinking about size difference in cells, let's think about 1,800 semis lined up in a row. This would stretch over 20 miles. This is comparable to the size difference between one of the smallest cells, E. coli, to the largest single cell, the ostrich egg. All cells have specific functions they must complete to ensure their survival. Three main functions of cells are molecule transport, which means to be able to obtain nutrients and other molecules to survive, reproduction, so the cells are able to produce new generations and ensure the survival of their species, as well as cellular metabolism, which provides the energy for the cell to function. Cells are vastly different in their size, their function, their shape, and type. As I stated, three functions of the cells are molecule transport, reproduction, and cellular metabolism. A variety of different organelles work together to reach these goals, similar to the idea of an industrial factory. In order to secure functionality, each cell needs the cell membrane, cytoskeleton, cytoplasm, vacuoles, the nucleus, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, and the mitochondria. The cell membrane functions as the security and shipping of the cell. It provides a fence and regulates what comes in and out of the cell. The cytoskeleton provides stability for the cell as well as allows materials to move from place to place within the cell. Cytoplasm consists of 50% of a cell, mostly containing water. This area is where organelles are able to float around and also where the beginning of energy release occurs. Located in the cytoplasm, you can see bubble-like structures called vacuoles. Vacuoles store nutrients as well as water. The nucleus functions as the brains and the control center of the whole cell's operation. While the ribosomes are not considered true organelles because they are not bound by a membrane, they are very important to the functions of a cell. They produce the proteins needed and carry out information from the nucleus. The endoplasmic reticulum, also known as ER, is a set of passageways shaped by tubular membranes. Depending on the type of cell, depends on what role the ER plays in that cell. The Golgi apparatus packages and ships enzymes, raw materials, proteins, and waste throughout the cell. Lysosomes work as the maintenance man. They get rid of defective parts as well as conserve and recycle materials. The mitochondria works as the powerhouse of the cell. It supplies fuel and energy for the cell by breaking down the compound ATP. While plants and animals both have cells, they are not the same. Plant cells are more of a rectangular shape, whereas animal cells are a round shape. Also, the vacuoles in animals are very small and multiple, whereas in plants there is one large central vacuole that can take up to 90% of the cell volume. Chloroplast is a special organelle in plants. It takes energy from the sun through the process of photosynthesis and converts it into glucose. To help support the plant throughout growth, the plant also has an extra fence called cellulose. This fence forms around the cell membrane. Many people believe that there are no single-celled organisms, when in fact, as I discussed earlier, there are single-celled organisms as small as microscopic bacteria all the way up to the size of the largest one, the ostrich egg. This leads to my second misconception, that all cells are the same size and shape, when in fact, when you think about the size and shape of a bacteria versus the size and shape of an ostrich egg, it is clear to see that this cannot be true. Lastly, Many people believe that we contain cells rather than are made up of cells. But in all honesty, multicellular organisms are just a bunch of cells put together to create that organism.
That's all, folks.